Hello, my friend. Welcome back to the Mindset Check podcast. This is your host, Misha McKittrick. This is a podcast where we believe that as you take time for a mindset check, you have more power than you think you do. And today, we normally do a short story that you can learn from. And in lieu of doing that today, what I wanted to do is give you some very succinct ways and tactics that you can use to help let in the light. When it feels really dark in your world, there are actually things that you can do. And I'm going to give you my top four, the four that I love probably the most. All right, let's get started. The first tactic that I want to share with you is called shake it off. And this actually really allows your nervous system to calm down. This then allows you to do other steps to be able to bring in the light, because sometimes we have to get to a point where we can at least calm down to be able to make good decisions about what's next, right? About the light that we let in. In the tactic to shake it off, know that it is something that animals actually do. And we have the ability to copy them and to be able to achieve the same results. What happens when an animal enters high levels of stress, maybe they had to defend their life, or maybe they get in a little bickering argument, think of ducks, or bears when they're having to go into fight or flight mode, right? Kind of a thing. They have the experience, and then when they walk away from it, they shake. So in the case of the polar bear actually lays down on the ground and has something that looks like a seizure. A duck will turn around from a heightened interaction and flap its wings wildly, right? So they shake off their stress, and then their heart rate returns to normal, and they're able to go about doing their normal functions. Literally, the polar bear gets up and goes and starts just doing its normal thing, and its heart rate has returned back to normal. So know that when you enter into heightened states of stress, that is something that's completely available to you. And this can look like shaking in any way, like moving, dancing, right? Literally actually shaking, running, working out, anything that gets the body moving can shake off the stress. The second thing that I want to teach you about is breathing to be able to release these negative emotions and being able to lock down your lower three energy centers to be able to release negative emotions. This is something that you can do, and it's very simple. It's very easy. And I'm going to walk you through doing it right now. So if you're in a place where you can close your eyes, you can do this. If you're driving and you can't close your eyes, you can still do this with us. Just don't close your eyes. Try to still stay alert. Okay. And if you don't feel like you can do it, then don't. But just at a time where you feel like you can do it, you can come back to this part. So here's what you do. Just close your eyes and let your body start to relax and take a deep breath in. And as you let this air go, start to squeeze down by your pelvic floor. So squeeze it really, really tight, really tight, really tight as you're letting that air come into your body. And then let it go. Okay, and we're going to keep doing that. So take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in, tighten that lower part, the very, very bottom of your pelvic floor, and tighten that all up as tight as you can, as tight as you can, as tight as you can, and then let the air go. And on the next inhale, I want you to tighten down the second energy center, which is right behind your belly button. So tighten down by your pelvic floor, and then tighten right at your belly button, and tighten it as tight as you can. Deep breath in. Tight, 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 tight. Make it so tight, so tight, so tight. And then hold it for as long as you can and let it go. And take a deep breath in and lock down that third energy center, which is right in your diaphragm area. So just tighten, tighten, tighten that up, tighten it up as you're breathing in. Breathe in, breathe in. And hold, and then let the air go. Those are your three energy centers. So we're going to now practice doing them all at the same time. Take that, those are, I guess should say the lower three energy centers. I'm going to be really clear about that. There's more. But take a deep breath in and lock all three of those down. 1, 2, 3. Take a deep breath. Lock it, hold it tight. Hold it as tight as you can and squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then let it go. and take a deep breath in. Lock it down, lock it down, lock it down. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then as soon as you've got all the air, hold for as long as you can and let it go. And let's do one more breath. Take a deep breath in and lock it all down. Lock it, lock it, lock it. Keep breathing as much as you can. And when you can't anymore, then hold it and let it all go. And that is one of the most simple tricks that you have power over that you can do to release negative emotions in your body. You can picture in your mind that you're gathering up all of the negative emotion and then it's coming out through your breath. Deep breath in, gathering it all up and letting it go. It is so freeing. And it's something that I often do to help me get into the right state before I meditate. So that's also another tip. Okay, tip number 3 is learning how to choose your feelings. And there is a PDF that I will put a link to in the show notes for this. And you will be able to have like a really simple gathering of things that you can do to help you feel better feelings. Remember in the last episode when we talked about how higher level feelings trump lower level feelings, right? We talked about how appreciation and gratitude trump feelings of anxiety or sadness, right? You can't feel those two things at the same time. And so the more that you can teach yourself to feel good feelings, the more that you come out of the bad feelings. So that's tip number 3. And just go through the list. It's all there for you. It's amazing things. And just know that you have the capability to do simple things that help you to shift your feelings. And then tip number 4 is finding yourself in heart coherence. And heart coherence is something that there's so many techniques in heart coherence. There's so many techniques that you can do while you're doing the breathing and you're in heart coherence, where you can shift your attitude, where you can go into it acknowledging that you're feeling, low, and whatever feeling is associated or defined as low, that you're feeling this low feeling and that you're able to say what you would actually replace it with. And there's this neat exchange of what happens as you're trying to shift that attitude and imagine that you're feeling something different. And when you come out of it, you actually do feel different. So that's like one tiny little speck or element of what heart coherence can actually do for you. Heart coherence can take a drained battery and make it full so that as you're going through your life, you have the ability to handle the things that are in front of you. You have more space and more resolve, and you have more it's kind of like greasing the gears. Like you just have more fluidity and more ability, and it's just such a beautiful experience. And heart coherence is something that different people have natural levels of heart coherence. And so if I were to do a meditation with you right now, and I can link one in the show notes that I've done before that can help you come into heart coherence. But the most important thing to know and to remember is that sometimes coming into heart coherence, say on your first meditation, it might not be something that's that easy. It might be something that you need to learn. It might be a practice, but trust me, the practice of feeling it is so important. And then the consistency of feeling it is what can teach you how to bring different patterns, different feelings, and different chemicals into your life. So with heart coherence, this is something that is a mission of mine to be able to teach and to be able to help people to come into. I'm going to be teaching a course about heart coherence and how to master this state, how to figure out how to come into it and how to be in it every single day, because it feels amazing and it helps you create a life of bliss. So I'm going to be teaching a course about that in the fall. So just make sure you follow along and you'll get all kinds of instructions about how to sign up, follow me on Instagram, or, make sure you're listening to the podcast and you'll get all the information that you need if that's something that is very interesting to you. Okay, I'm really, really hoping that these tactics help you to be able to bring light when it feels dark. Just remember that if these tactics work for you, great. But if they don't, it is so smart to have a plan of some simple things that you can reach to when you feel that darkness coming, when you feel like there's nothing else that you want to do except for to stay in fetal position, right? Or whatever it is for you that feels like you're trying to comfort yourself, right? Or you're trying to minimize. I've watched this happen. I've watched it, and I know it's a real thing. And I want you to know that you can lay there and feel like stones are being thrown at you, or you can make a choice to move. You can make a choice to open the door even a tiny bit. And with that, I hope I leave you with hope and love and a surge to know that there is more. There is more. And it can be whatever level you're experiencing life. It can be, there is hope in an absolutely dark room, or it can be that, you're walking around with rays of sunshine hitting you when you are simply just living in a house of light. So there's lots of different levels, but you get to come into whatever state of bliss that you hope for. And I am on a mission to help you to do that. Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, please never forget that you have more power than you think you do. And I am here to help you shine that light all over that power so that you recognize it. I'll see you next time.